Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we will be learning about an array. So as you can see in the screen, I have written a definition of an array, which tells that array is a data structure that stores multiple data of similar data type in a contiguous memory. An array, with the help of an array, we can store multiple value of same data type in a memory. Let's take an example of it. That, for example, if we want to store the marks of 4 or 5 students, if like someone has told us that they're like, hey, Rahul, store the marks of five students, then we can simply make five different variable, and stores the marks of five students. But what if they say you to store the marks of 100 or 500 students? That's become a different and difficult and a very challenging task. So for that reason, we will use an array. So an array. Look how an array works. So in array, there are important points. First is indices. It tells how many boxes are there. An array defines an array size is equal to 5. So there will be 5 boxes, and indices starts from 0. The main use of indices here, that with the help of indices we can access a particular element of an array. For example, if we want to access an array element of 3, array element 3, so we can access them by with the help of indices. Let's see the properties of array. An array is a collection of data of the same data type stored in a no, it's the same. It stores data of the same data type in a memory. Indexing of array starts from 0. Yes, indices starts an array from 0, and it will be 1, 2, 3, 4. But it's different from array. You don't have to confuse between the array size, array elements, and the indices. If the array element in the indices is 0, then the array elements will be 1 here. If the indices is 1, then the array element will be 2. If the indices is 2, array element will be 3. So it will be a different thing. Elements in an array can be accessed using an indices. This I have already told you. With the help of indices, we can access the elements of array. Let's see the syntax of array declaration. We have to first define a data type of array. Then array name should be a genuine array name, and should not be a long. Should be a short but effective. And the size of array. To define the size of the array. So let's see. First, int is the data type, ar is the array name, and 5 is the size of the array, how much space or how much elements we have want to store. So it's, for example, we have given 5, so 5 indicates the number 5 elements. So it's that simple. Then again, how can we find the size of the array if it's not given? So we'll see it later. First, let's see an example of let's do an example of array. So I have opened a VS Code. You can also do the sums in VS Code. VS Code is a good application. It's help you a lot. So first, we have already written all these things. You have to written all these things in every code. You have to written it. You must read, or it will show an error to your code. Okay, you have to write all these things. Int main is the main function. Here, first the compiler of the program, like computer, will first go to the main function. This int main function, they do all these things, and if you have like function or use some other things you have used, then it will go there. First, the compiler will come to main function. Okay? So first we need to declare a string, as I have mentioned. A strings or any data type, I am declaring string. Then we have to, after declaring string, then we have to declare array name. And we have to declare in this bracket, we have to declare the size of the array. For example, I have stored 4, so I can write 4 elements in an array. So let's take bmw, then od, then for array. Okay, let's take one another. Let's take nano, the one and only nano. And we have to put a semicolon after the end of this statement. It will show an error if you don't put it after the every statement. After that, I want to just print what we have to do if we want to print a particular element of the array in between all these things. For example, I want to print a Ferrari. So what we have to do? We have to just a Ferrari, just one element of array, particular element of array. So for that we need to write cout, and we need to write the name of the array, like array cars. It is cars. Then we have to give the bracket this bracket, and then we have to give the element number. Okay, in what's the element number? So far you can see here BMW is the 1, 2, and 3. Ferrari we have to print. Ferrari is 3. If you write 3, it will print. If we write 3, it will print other things. Okay, it won't print a nano. It will print. It won't print Ferrari. Okay, let's take an example. Let's write 3 and semicolon at the end, and let's save it and let's print it. It will print nano. Let's see. Nano it has print. Why? Why it doesn't print nano? Because it takes this number will takes indices. So it BMW will be a 0, Audi will be the 1, Ferrari will be the 2, and the Nano will be the 3. So let's take 2. Control C and clear. Now it will print Ferrari. Why? So because I have already told you here, indices, it takes indices number if we want to access a particular number. So it 0, in 0 number it stored BMW. In 1 it stored Audi. In second it stored Ferrari. In third it stored Nano. So here if we want to access the Ferrari, we need to give the second number. But what if we want to print all these elements and all these elements? Yes, we can do this just by writing it 4 times, and changing the number. Changing the number to 0, and then we have to 1, then 2, it's add this, and 3. Now it will print all these things, but don't forget to put these things. End line. Okay. This you have to put it at the end of the line. Okay, before the statement end, before the semicolon exactly. The reason behind is it, if you don't write this thing, all these like array element will be print together in a single line and it will create a mess. So it's better to write NL. Now that it's all these elements are written in a single line. BMW, then Audi in the another line, then Ferrari in the another line. If you haven't wrote this end line, then for after as the BMW end, then Audi will be written there, and then Ferrari, or after Audi, then Ferrari would be after Ferrari, then Nano. So it will become a mess. So it's better to write end line after the end of the statement. It's better if we can use for loop also to print all this table. Okay, all writing all these things is good, but what if we want to write 10, 20 elements? Okay, then it will be big create a mess, and we have to write all these things layer again and again and again and again. So it's better to use for loop. Everyone use for loop. So today we will be learning about for loops too. So we will be learning about for loops. For loops is just nothing. It's a type of loop we use. There are three types of loop: for loop, while loop, and do while loop. So we use for loop mainly because when we know how many inputs we have to print and how many time we wants to run the conditions. We use a while loop when we don't know the conditions, how many times we have to use a for, like run the condition. So for loop we use when we know. For this, for example, let's comment this section. Okay, we can comment this section just by putting these two black axes. Now this things will be commented. The compiler won't read this. We can see this, but the compiler won't be able to see this thing. So now we'll be using for loops. So let's do an example on for loops. What will we do? Let's print a table. That's an interesting thing. So for that we have written all these things. So first we need to declare int because table is a number. So we need to declare the array data type int. After that we will need to take table dash of 3. So here I will be printing table of 3. Here how many numbers elements have to be? Obviously I will be printing till 10. So I have declared 10. Here I will again equal to then this bracket. Why? Now I have to define the elements too. So like 3, 6, 9, then 12, then 15, then 18, then 21, then 24, then 27, then 20, then 30. That's all. Now 8. Now I have written all the 10 elements. It's okay. Now I have to print all these elements at a single using for loop. So for that we need to use a for loop. For we use in the for loop, first we have to write statements or conditions. 3 statements are there. First we used to initialize an element like which will be used for indices, and the second we need to give in condition, and the third is an increment or decrement operator. Okay? You will be learning about it later. So for example I have declared int I for indices. You can take any number, it's not indices. I'm mentioning that it's for use only. Okay. After that you have to give a semicolon. After indices I is equal to 0, then you have to give I should be less than 10 because less than equal to 10, because it will be run till 10. As it crosses the 10, it goes 11, the condition will go. Now for example, now our I is equal to 0, so 0, and the our limit is limited, like table I have to print is 10, so since 10 is I is lesser than 10, so it will print as I, and I have to, so for that I increment means as the statement as I have run this statement, now it will I gets plus plus means it will be increased by 1. So first condition for first run code of run, it will be 0. The second round it will be 1. In third round it will be 3, and it goes on until it reaches 10. As it goes 11, the condition will be not fair because its 11 is greater than 10, so it will exit the loop. So we have to this bracket, and in this line we have to write the code, and this code will be printed till the condition is true. See out, and then we have to write the array name table of 3. Don't miswrite the name. Take array of, and then we have to mention the I till I. Now we have to write. After that we have to give this semicolon, and that's all. Things are right. Okay, wait a minute. What did I write? Did I write I? What did I write? I. Yes, we have to write, because I we have to print I is equal to 0. If the condition is true, then I plus plus, so I will be written. So let's write these things. So I have made a mistake here. Let's see. I have given a comma in between these two. No, we have to give semicolon. So that's why it's showing error to me. Now everything is perfect. Now let's save it and run it. Let's see what's our answer will be. Now here it is 6, 3, 6, 9, 8. So all these things will be printed right now. When print end line, So that's why all these. So I've told you now, if you have all not, if you haven't write this in line, all the code will be written in a clumsy way. So it's better to write all these things. I give an equal to, better write till 10. And now you will see how my code will be written. Hmm. 3